The terms on your mortgage. Use your home equity to make those dreams a reality. Act now. There's really no place like home. GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
Good evening and welcome to the GBN Television News for Wednesday, March 2nd, 2022. Coming up in the news, former workers at Subi's Fishermen Cooperative Society call for thorough investigation as they are accused of robbing almost $40,000 from their employers. Vehicle owners put on warning as hundreds of derelict vehicles are to be removed and shipped out of the country. Grenadians celebrate Ash Wednesday. For what's to come in regional and international news as well as sports, let's go over to Zia Frederick.
Thank you, Blossom, and good evening, viewers and listeners. Here's what's coming up a little later in the news. Regionally, Ministry of Health in the Bahamas cracks down on fraudulent vax cards. Internationally, Russian paratroopers and rockets attack Ukraine's second largest city, Kharkiv. And coming up in sports, Grenada ranked 19th in world netball, and Wendy's women captain says Afi Fletcher's return is a boost to World Cup team. Join me, Zia Frederick, for the details a little later in the newscast. But first, let's go back to Blossom.
Thank you, Zia. Stay with us. The news is next.
The first segment of the news comes to you compliments Soft Weave Bathroom Tissue.
Have you heard about the new Soft Weave bathroom tissue with total hygiene? As hygiene and safety have taken center stage, our bathroom tissue is now manufactured with 3 different technologies to offer the best protection for you and your family. UVC light technology for a safe and effective disinfection process, eliminating 99.9% of microorganisms. Also, production at high temperatures, killing all types of germs and bacteria. And it's pH controlled with delicate fibers to prevent irritation for even sensitive skin. Soft Weave Total Hygiene Bathroom Tissue. Available in supermarkets and shops island-wide. Visit Soft Weave Caribbean Facebook or Instagram pages for more information.
Happy to have you. This is GBN Primetime Edition of News. Top story. Former workers at the Subi's Fishermen Cooperative Society Limited in St. Andrew are calling for justice and have made a request for a formal investigation to be done into their termination. They say claims of them being responsible for over $30,000 missing from the society are untrue. Tonight's top story comes from Rena Pear-Thomas.
Yolanda Francois said she and the 2 other colleagues were terminated from their jobs at the Fishermen Cooperative Society Limited in St. Andrew after being accused of being the masterminds behind the disappearance of over $38,000 missing from their former employers. The former sales clerk says she is innocent and can prove so, as she, along with the 2 other people pinned in the scandal, consistently presented balanced financial records and daily earnings to the manager at the end of each work day. She says they are not responsible for what happened to the money after it was handed over to the management, and therefore they should not be held accountable.
Once we do our daily sales, our bookworks and everything are corresponding with our money, and give it to the manager, everything does be perfect. We is not the one who do deposit. We don't write checks. We don't order goods and stuff like that. Well, for the last year and some, audit work was done by a new audit, and by doing that, the auditor picked up some things and bring it to the 7-man committee, which is the board, the Subi's Fishermen Cooperative Board.
According to Francois, only the 3 sales clerks were fired in relation to the missing money. She says the 3 feels like they were made the scapegoats as no meetings were held with them, which would have given them the opportunity to defend themselves. Now she says they are being bullied into paying back the money to the cooperative, something they will not agree to.
the $38,000, right? Out of that $38,000, we, the workers, me and my other two colleagues, 3 of us have to pay $7,000 each. I don't have a house. If I get $7,000, I will build a house or buy a car. I don't have that. The only letters we receive is the one from December 30th, 2021, stating that if we agree or disagree to pay back the $7,000. The next letter we received was from a lawyer dated the 16th of February 2022. The last letter I received was yesterday evening when I was leaving work, stating that I am no longer an employee of Subi's Fishermen Cooperative.
When contacted by GBN on Wednesday, the manager at the society referred the news team to the board of directors and provided a number for the secretary. When called, the secretary in an impolite tone indicated that she would not comment on the matter and that if the news team needs to speak to the president or vice president, we should obtain the phone numbers from the former workers. Francois, who believes that their daily records can clear their names, is calling for a proper investigation by the Subi's Fishermen Cooperative Society Limited, which involves police and external bodies, so that the real culprit can be found.
Looking for a proper investigation so our name could be cleared, so the organization please do a proper investigation so the culprit could be caught.
For GBN News, I am Rina Pet Thomas reporting.
In other news, the long-awaited cleanup of derelict vehicles along the nation's roadways is inching closer to realization with the launch of the Derelict Vehicle Cleanup Campaign on Wednesday. It is a collaborative effort between the Ministry of Infrastructure Development, the Grenada Solid Waste Management Authority, the Royal Grenada Police Force, and a private foreign partner whose name was not disclosed. Chrislina John has more.
Waste should no longer be seen as just an end-of-life product, but now as a resource that could be the start of other products or other uses.
That was Alan Gilbert, Integrated Resource Manager of the Grenada Solid Waste Management Authority, speaking during the launch of the National Derelict Vehicle Cleanup Campaign on Wednesday. This project is aimed at reducing the amount of vehicle waste, such as parts and scrap metals, going into the landfill. Gilbert explained how the cleanup process will be implemented.
Along with the police tow truck, our partner will provide some other tow trucks. We will collect derelict vehicles and we will take them all to multiple locations. Those locations we will call processing depots. We have identified some suitable locations, but and agreements are still forthcoming. And we've spread them out through the island, so we'll have short, hopefully under 10-mile journeys to these depots. At those depots, we'll have the stripping of the vehicles. They will be baled into cubes and then transported to a strategic location for placing in containers.
439-2019 is the hotline number members of the public can call to report derelict vehicles in communities, as well as to place requests for the removal of derelict vehicles. This number becomes active from March 28th. Richard McPhail, Senior Technical Officer in the Ministry of Infrastructure, says they have already sourced a flatbed truck to be used for the purpose of collection.
It's a 2021 Mitsubishi Fuso Fighter flatbed truck, and it's equipped with a crane at the back, and this crane is capable of towing as much as 2.9 tons. And this truck was procured directly from the manufacturers in Japan, brand new. So there's no possibility of it becoming derelict in the very near future.
Superintendent Randy Connaught, officer in charge of the traffic department, reiterated that derelict vehicles pose a challenge, especially to emergency vehicles, and have contributed to a number of road accidents.
Unable to service particular households because of the fact that they just cannot proceed any further. And this is very frustrating for the operations of the sanitary workers. On the law enforcement front, we see that as also a great challenge because most of the derelicts in certain communities are also used as places to stash illegal narcotics, stolen items. They are generally road safety hazards.
The Solid Waste Management Authority hopes to also see a decrease in habitats for rodents and other stray animals and reduction and prevention in environmental degradation. A derelict vehicle is described as any abandoned or discarded motor vehicle or any motor vehicle left in a public place which is in a dilapidated condition that it cannot be safely used for the purpose of transportation, and also includes any part of such motor vehicle. Christelina John, GBN News.
Meanwhile, the owners of these derelict vehicles sitting by the roadside have 1 week to remove them after a notice has been served, or they may face the expense of having the state tow it away. Let's get more once again from Christelina John.
Superintendent of Police Randy Connaught indicated that they have already begun the process of tagging and recording of derelict vehicles in their system. A public advisory will be done highlighting the areas that will be visited.
Under the Waste Management Act, Section 39 of Act 16 of 2001, a notice would be placed on that derelict vehicle given 7 days, after which that vehicle will be removed by the authorized agent or the authorized officer. Failure to comply, as I indicated, having the vehicle be removed, and the cost of its removal is a debt owed to the Crown, and that is the government of Grenada.
Alan Gilbert, Integrated Resource Manager of the Grenada Solid Waste Management Authority, explains who is permitted to remove abandoned or derelict vehicles according to the Act.
The Minister may designate in writing public officers and officers of government agencies such as authorized officers for the purpose of this Act. Every police officer and every environmental health officer is an authorized officer for the purpose of this Act. An authorized officer may at any time enter and inspect any waste management facility to verify compliance with this Act. 42.7 reads, an authorized officer other than a police officer in uniform must, if so requested, produce identification before conducting an inspection under this section.
Superintendent Connaught cautions that vehicle owners ought to take responsibility to avoid any inconvenience.
A police officer, a person assisting a police officer, the state is liable for any motor vehicle towed or driven under the section, or for the charge sustained for damage sustained by the vehicle during or as a result of the towing. So this in its essence gives an indication as to the removal of any liability on the part of the authorized officer, and in this case the police officer or persons assisting that officer from any liability for any damages caused during the process of towing.
Christelina John, GBN News.
Christians in Grenada joined others across the world to celebrate Ash Wednesday today, the first day of Lent. The various denominations headed to church as they begin their journey of prayer, fasting and giving alms. A midday service was held at the St. George's Catholic Church with celebrant Bishop Clyde Harvey reminding Christians that the Lenten season is very important and they should take it seriously while continuing to do great things.
Do not grow weary of doing good. And that is one of the things that I want to put before you as you begin this Lenten journey. You will begin it, yes, and some of us will do some wonderful things in the first few weeks of Lent. But by the time the 6th week comes around, we are weary. And we're no longer doing some of the things that we did at the beginning. But that weariness is not only about Lent. That weariness is about your whole life. I have tremendous admiration for the old people whom I see, men and women, who continue to work doing good for others. members. Sometimes it's in the church societies, in Vincent de Paul Legion of Mary. But other times, very quietly, they do what they do.
This is Primetime Edition of News. Coming up, St. Andrew residents express optimism about the soon-to-start Grenville Financial Complex project. Stay with us.
We would have launched our microloans product back in 2018 when we realized that it was such a challenge for small business owners to source financing. The main objective of our microloans brand is to ensure that we help small business owners build their capacity and grow their businesses, not just in St. Lucia but across the OACS. You are able to apply for your loan online at www.readyfinancecaribbean.com. You can also call us at our switchboard 457-8100 and speak to one of our very qualified microfinance officers. One of the main parts and one of the main things that we're really proud of from this product is the fact that we offer training solutions and we help our customers build their capacity. And we want to stress the fact that it's not just about giving you financial assistance, but it's really about ensuring that you are able to succeed in your business.
Why pay full price for your mobile when you can pay half? Just bundle your home internet and mobile services with Flow and save 50% on your mobile bill. That's money in your pocket every month. Plus now you get free YouTube and WhatsApp data. And you can share your plan with up to 3 other numbers. Upgrade now and get a free smartphone. Switch and keep your number. Learn more at discoverflow.co.
What if there was a place in Grenada that was close to Grenadians Beach, within walking distance of restaurants and attractions, and you didn't have to pay hundreds of dollars to stay there? Guess what? There is. Look us up.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Thinking about your new home? Think easy. Think a Republic Bank Home Easy Loan. Think affordable. Think convenience. Think Republic.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3. Republic makes home easy.
Wow, that was such a breeze.
Own your home with ease.
So whether laying that first brick or purchasing an existing home, we've got you covered. Republic Bank will get you those keys hassle-free in no time.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Drop by any one of our 8 locations today. Getting your new home is easy with Republic Bank.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
The Nawasa app brings the power of Nawasa's customer service experience to you. Instant, conversational, and smart. Easy access anywhere. Get bill balance, transaction history for up to 6 months, report a fault, link to websites, view payment centers, contact information, push notifications, and multi-tenant accounts, all in a secure login platform. Like a self-service concierge app, mobile.nawasa.gd gets you the support you need much faster. Available on both Android and iOS platforms. Mobile.nawasa.gd, your customer support companion. Nawasa, committed to meeting customers' needs.
Welcome to Nurses Care, a new home healthcare company on Ireland, changing the way you receive healthcare. From registered nurses and aides to medical doctors and qualified physicians, we offer a wide range of healthcare services, from monitoring chronic conditions and medications to elderly care, pediatric care and maternity nurses, to even housekeeping and case management. We offer 24/7 in-house healthcare services. So contact us today for your in-house consultation at 439-3928.
Your vehicle insurance should never break your bank. With Beacon, you can get up to 35% off your fully comprehensive car insurance and still get full protection from unexpected damages with free loss of use, windscreen cover, and special perils. When it comes to your insurance, always be sure you settle for more. Call us at 440-4447 or log on to beacon.co.tt and get a quote today.
And leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
My grandson feel he was a big man before he reached secondary school, telling me about new gadgets to make life easy. But he busting up the food his granny cook with her 2 hands. And Kern's a good boy. I know. I raised him. I know he doesn't like seeing me work too hard. He worries. Before I had my first heart attack, he was excited to live near his university campus. So I felt guilty when he decided to live at home to take care of me. And getting to class and back, he would travel, he said. But I got him a little car anyway, much safer. Graduated, recently got married, and he's doing well for himself with all his tech. He still thinks he knows more than me, but to be honest, I don't know how I would have managed without him.
Your life is your story. Let's help you write it on your terms.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Welcome back to the news. Residents of St. Andrew are eagerly awaiting the start of construction on the Grenville Financial Complex as they anticipate positives for the big parish and its occupants. We get more in this report from Rena Pierre-Thomas.
Residents of St. Andrew expressed positive views on the Grenville Financial Complex project, which is spearheaded by the government of Grenada. The complex will house all government revenue offices and departments, and the small businesses will also be given an opportunity to operate within the building as the government intends to lease office space. This is intended to create revenue for the big parish. On this week's post-cabinet briefing, Minister for Infrastructure Development Nolan Cox gave an update on the project.
The Grenville Commercial Complex project have been tendered. Tenders have received. It is currently being evaluated. It's at the procurement board for final no objection. As soon as that is completed, we will update the public on that, and we can see work starting on the Grenville Commercial Complex thereafter.
GBN combed the town of Grenville to get residents' view on the upcoming complex.
It's a good thing to make changes. Right now it's a good thing to make changes because people looking at a lot of different things right now. Good generating and for people to make money is a good idea. So I hope it's success.
I think it's a very good project. You know, I think Grenville is long awaiting, and I think it will enhance the parish or the town of Grenville on a whole. Because if you look at Grenville, some of the government offices, some of them are all over the place. So I think if that come together and everybody can go one place and get everything done, it's a very good idea.
Because it is something that would bring greater development for the parish on a whole. And then as much as we didn't hear about it again and it's like it no longer existing, we thought that was the end of it. But if it is so and they have decided to really now put it into perspective, I don't know if it is an election gimmick, but if they really decide to put it into perspective, it will be great for the parish. And we will applaud it and we will go forward with giving it praise and we would like to see it happen.
It will be a good thing for St. Andrews too. It will be a good thing for St. Andrews. Remember, we have a lot of people in St. Andrews, you know. And if everything you had to run in St. George's, you had to inconvenience yourself so much. You know what I mean? So that project that you're talking about there, that would be a good project.
Well, I see it as a good project, but if it become reality, because we have seen a lot of projects started close to election, nothing complete. We're hearing about Simon, hearing about things, we see a lot of roads doing. So sometimes they just dig up a place, bring down a place, and that's it. But if it do come true, it's a good project.
For GBN News, I am Rina Thomas reporting.
Grenada's recovery from the onslaught of the COVID-19 pandemic is being called a modern-day miracle by one religious leader, and he is asking the public to not take it for granted. The details in this report from Beverly Telesford.
In the midst of Grenada's first major COVID-19 outbreak, which started in late August 2021, Grenadians both locally and in the diaspora were called upon to be part of 2 days of national prayer to ask God's hand in the nation's recovery as it grappled with the devastating effects of the virus. The National Days of Prayer were held virtually on September 25th and 26th, less than 1 week after Grenada recorded its highest number of active cases to date, 2,675. The prayer days were held under the theme, A Call to Return to God. According to one religious leader, those prayers were heard, and by way of miracle, Grenada recovered from the outbreak.
And the government asked the churches to pray. The churches prayed, the churches agreed. You know, it was not just evangelical churches, but churches on a whole that came together on that particular weekend and prayed and asked God to intervene. And I would say immediately there was something that came into our nation, the strength of God, the grace of God.
Pastor Ricardo Aline of the Lutheran Revival Center Church said Grenadians ought to be thankful for the intervention of God in their time of need.
Be very careful that after God has been so good to us that we then go and live anyhow. I also want to speak very strongly that our response to God's goodness should be that we should say thanks to God, not only verbally, but physically, spiritually, emotionally.
Pastor Aline said while he doesn't wish to discredit medical professionals, he doesn't attribute the turnaround of Grenada's COVID crisis to their intervention alone.
Am I saying that the doctors and the medical fraternity and practitioners and the frontline workers didn't have something to do with it? Of course, they all had a part to play. But there is no way that we can say is because of the medical practitioners and Minister of Health and Ministry of Health that caused this. Because in the islands right around us, they even have better facilities, isolation centers, and yet they're having still so many different deaths taking place. What happened in Grenada? What happened? A miracle, an absolute miracle.
As of Monday, Grenada's active COVID cases stood at 138. Total confirmed cases as of Tuesday night is 13,960.
That was Beverly Telesford reporting. In other news, the new chair of CARICOM says there is a need to rekindle the founding vision for regional integration in terms of its scale of ambition and speed of consolidation. Prime Minister of Belize, John Brusinho, says there is no revitalized need to look inward for the solutions to satisfy the development and aspirations of the Caribbean people while strengthening engagement externally. Gerard Joseph has this report.
It is not because of romantic nostalgia, but to remind Caribbean leaders of their roots deeply ingrained in regional integration. New CARICOM Chair and Prime Minister of Belize, John Brusinho, while noting that integration is the instrument by which the Caribbean community has committed to advance its development, says for small states, integration is the only modality.
I am well aware of the criticism in many quarters, and perhaps well-founded, about the state of our integration. For many, we are not moving fast enough or going deep enough. Others feel their fledgling national identities at risk. But none have challenged the inevitability of integration for our small Caribbean states.
The CARICOM Chair says regional integration is now imperative for the recovery process for the Caribbean. Thus, Prime Minister Brusinho notes the spirit of solidarity and cooperation plus the steely commitment to integration as seen in the Grandance and Rose Hall declarations must be rekindled.
Must inspire us now to lay out a new framework of action for the next decade. Next year will mark the 50th anniversary of the founding of CARICOM, of the conclusion of the Georgetown Accord. This is an auspicious milestone. I propose, colleagues, that during 2022, we embark on a journey of regional consultation so that we can mark the anniversary of the Accord with the adoption of a repurposed, reimagined, revitalized Accord that presents an irreversible prescription designed to achieve our region's just objectives.
With an uncertain future, the Caribbean leader impresses that the region's common destiny compels the Caribbean community to work boldly united but not limited to a new regional agenda.
We must continue more intensely to harness the resource endowments whilst building sustainability and resilience across our development interventions. That would naturally include digital transformation, transformation of agri-food systems, and empowering the CSME to deliver on its objectives. Already, the elements of a new regional agenda are taking shape.
Calling on his colleague heads of governments and other leaders, the CARICOM chair says there is a need to redouble efforts to complete the removal of the remaining barriers to inter-regional trade and give full effect to the Caribbean single market and economy. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
And now let's see what you, our viewers and listeners, have been up to on social media. It's time for tonight's Social Buzz.
We present the news. You analyze the various topics and distill the issues as they unfold. Your distillation points matter as we're about to highlight them in our Social Buzz report.
On today's Social Buzz, we will highlight your thoughts on GBN's To The Point program with host Joseph Kado. You will hear the views of some Grenadians on international and local political issues that are affecting them.
The war, the invasion of Ukraine.
Certainly.
If it was an invasion, there's absolutely no doubt about it. There's no intervention and any other euphemism that is used to call it special military operation. That's what it was. And it's occurring today. And innocent people are dying. By the way, soldiers are also dying. Money is being wasted in burnt-out military equipment and otherwise.
I am totally disgusted with the situation in Ukraine. And Putin is a killer, and when you kill, you will continue killing. I am totally disgusted with the way the people are displaced, the children suffering because of Putin's aggression. Jesus Christ gave us free will. People must have a free will to discuss and determine their own political agenda. Putin nor Biden cannot talk about people being in their backyard or sphere of influence. This is nonsense. This must stop.
We cannot take chance. This is not a bingo game. This is not lotto. We can't take chance. The government say, a man come vote for him. Let's put him there because we want change. You have to have some sort of level of merit. It's not jumping from the roof.
Does that disqualify him from being a leader? When the present PM came into politics, he wasn't in it before. You have to start somewhere. And although I would always give credit to experience, well, listen, a man could be doing something for 50 years, or a woman have the experience, 50 years experience, and it's the wrong experience. In other words, it's negative to what you're trying to accomplish. He thought Mia Motley was going to come to his convention to give him a head start, to give him political mileage. But he miscalculated Mia Motley because she's an intelligent, popular, and educated woman.
That's a wrap for tonight's Buzz. Continue to share your thoughts and concerns with us on our social media platforms.
Still ahead, regional heads continue discussions in Belize on Thursday. We'll tell you more after the break.
was my life, caring for me, loving me from a baby. COVID came and she never left the house. She felt safe there. Just turned 80. She kept saying, son, go take the vaccine so you could come and see me. I miss you. And never did. Because I'm young and I'm strong, and people on Facebook say the vaccine don't really protect you. I went to see her because I thought I was fine. I had no symptoms. She was so happy to see me. I had COVID and I did not even know. Being vaccinated would have helped. I just know it. I just know it. I'm so sorry, Granny. I'm so sorry.
This message is brought to you by the Grenada COVID Crisis Group and the Grenadians United in Virginia.
The next chapter in West Indies' biggest rivalry continues. West Indies flies against England for the Apex Test Series in 3 test matches. Tickets start as low as $20 and local residents enjoy an additional 50% discount with online purchase. Must be fully vaccinated to attend all matches, and COVID-19 protocols will be in effect. Secure your seats to the action. Get your tickets in advance at windiescricket.com/tickets. Terms and conditions apply.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Thinking about your new home? Think easy. Think a Republic Bank Home Easy Loan. Think affordable. Think convenience. Think Republic.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3. Republic makes home easy.
Wow, that was such a breeze.
Own your home with ease.
So whether laying that first brick or purchasing an existing home, we've got you covered. Republic Bank will get you those keys hassle-free in no time.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Drop by any one of our 8 locations today. Getting your new home is easy with Republic Bank.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Running low on groceries? Why not visit realvalueiga.com and experience our new online shopping platform? Place your order, then go out and enjoy your day to spend more time with friends and family. Delivery available within select locations or in-store pickup available. Sounds simple, right? It is. Stress less, live more with Real Value IGA online store, where good food begins.
If there was ever a time to keep and stay healthy, it's now. We at Hills and Valley are here to help you take deliberate steps to maintain your health. We stayed true to maintaining the most comprehensive rates while stocking the widest range of medicines and health devices, including personal protective equipment. There are so many benefits shopping with us. You get great savings through discounts for senior citizens and reward cards for loyal customers. Ask about owning yours today. Visit us at Halifax and Grenville Street, St. George, Jubilee Street opposite the Grenville Bus Terminal, and at Hillsborough, Carriacou. Our wholesale distribution on Halifax Street also stocks the widest range of pharmaceuticals. We are with you on the hills and in the valleys. We are Hills and Valley Pharmacy.
We support you at every stage of your life.
For business.
For your education.
For your financial freedom.
For that new ride.
Upgrade your life with the Communal. Contact us today.
This is GBN. We've got the means, the power, and the medium. This segment is brought to you by Flow.
Why pay full price for your mobile when you can pay half? Just bundle your home internet and mobile services with Flow and save 50% on your mobile bill. That's money in your pockets every month. Plus now you get free YouTube and WhatsApp data. And and you can share your plan with up to 3 other numbers. Upgrade now and get a free smartphone. Switch and keep your number. Learn more at discoverflow.co.
Welcome back. Heads of state and governments of CARICOM and the Central American Integration System, CICA, will seek to strengthen relations in the face of multidimensional challenges when they meet for the 4th CARICOM-CICA Summit in Belize on Thursday. The summit is expected to adopt the Joint Declaration of San Pedro with commitments to strengthen foreign policy consultation, actively collaborate on socio-economic development matters, including tourism, trade and investment, and strengthen cooperation in climate change and public health, among other matters. The heads are also expected to sign a revised CARICOM-CICA Plan of Action adopted by foreign ministers of the 2 regions last month, which highlights specific areas for joint dialogue and commitment to implementation, evaluation and follow-up. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres is expected to be a special guest at the summit and is expected to engage the heads on several matters, including COVID-19 pandemic response and recovery, climate change, financing and development, and the situation in Haiti. The CARICOM-CICA Summit immediately follows the 33rd intersessional meeting of CARICOM heads of government, which ended today in Belize. And now let's take a peek through the GBN Eyesore lens.
A good eye captures all. GBN Eyesore is brought to you by Clear Vision.
Life is beautiful if only you can see it. Clear Vision Eye Center helps you do just that. We provide expert service, classy eyewear, and cutting-edge technology, all with a quality customer experience. See better, feel better, and look better. Meet us today at clearvisiongrenada.com or call 444-0055, WhatsApp 409-0055, or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Clear Vision Eye Center. Let's see life and the world with a clear vision.
Tonight's citizen journalist wants to know who remembers the item in the photograph. If you haven't figured it out yet, it's a kerosene lamp. A kerosene lamp is a type of lighting device that uses kerosene as fuel. These lamps have a wick or mantle as light source, protected by a glass chimney or a globe. Lamps may be used on a table, or handheld lanterns may be used for portable lighting. They are useful for lighting without electricity and were found in almost every household years ago. Do you still have one in your home? Send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp on 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
Stay with us. Coming up next is the weather, and then we join Zia Frederick for sports and our probe around the globe.
Physical violence, threats, controlling behavior, and being disrespectful are no-nos in any relationship. Parenting together after a breakup can be difficult, but always speak and behave in ways you would want your children to speak and act. You cannot control what your ex-partner does, but you can control how you choose to respond to your ex and what behaviors you display to your children. Parents, display behaviors you will want your children to learn. A respectful child begins with you. Step up your parenting game. My family matters.
Ridgeway Residences, a modern, exclusive residential community offered by Ariza. Purchase one of our completely built houses or let us build for you by simply choosing your lot, choosing your home design from our selection, and let us do the rest. Owning a home does not have to be a frustrating process. For more information, contact Ariza Credit Union on 415-0994 or send us an email on info@ridgewayresidences.gd. Ridgeway Residences, hassle-free home ownership.
Here
Here's a little known fact. There is only one place in Grenada that you can get an MRI scan done. That place is Spiceisle Imaging Center. Yes, Grenada, that's the truth. Other centers could offer you other scans, but Spiceisle Imaging provides an authentic MRI scan. Here's another little known fact. Spiceisle Imaging has 3 centers. We operate at Grenville, the Carnage, and at the Ocean House, Grandlands. We provide the widest range of laboratory tests and services. CT scans, x-rays, mammograms, ultrasounds, and a host of other services. We are fully staffed by a team of family doctors and specialists. Call us today at 444-7679 or 406-1500 or visit any of our 3 locations. Spiceisle Imaging, from seeing the doctor to getting lab tests, scans, and pharmacy services. We are here to take care of you.
Let's start the new year on a high, a detox high, because it's detox time again at Nirvana Detox Center and Natural Health Store. Check out our many detox packages starting from $100 or get 15% off on colonic irrigation therapy. Detoxing can help with liver and blood cleansing, weight loss, constipation, acid reflux, kidney stones, heavy metal removal, gas and bloating, and more. Call or WhatsApp us on 231-6642, 418-7115, or 449-7753. Ask about our delivery options. Visit us now. Bruce Street Mall, store number 1208, or Belmont St. George's, close to the Fall Edge area. Our opening hours are Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Nirvana Detox Center and Natural Health Store. Detox your way to health. These specials ends on March 31st or while stocks last.
What does it take to be an amazing woman? Lots of me time. Amazing women are classy, fancy, and a little sassy. It's the drink for me. Cheers! Sometimes you've got to show them who's boss. Alpha male? Nah, alpha females are more amazing. Cheers to securing the bag. We make time for ourselves, for work, friends, and we certainly make time for passion. We're simply amazing. Amazing cream liqueur for the amazing woman in you.
Level of convenience and comfort awaits you when you shop at Rise and Shine Supermarket and Hardware Supplies, Griffin Lane, Grenville. Convenient, because we are open Sunday to Sunday. We're even at your service on public holidays. Comfort, because we are easily accessible to the physically challenged. Free Wi-Fi is available while you shop, and bags come at no charge. Everyday low prices and excellent customer care. Adequate parking available. We supply everything you can possibly think of. Family and home supplies, fresh meat, vegetables, and personal care products. All brands of cooking gas at affordable prices. You can send in your order, have it pulled, or pick up express.
Keeping an eye on the weather. This is GBN. We've got you covered.
This is the public weather forecast for the state of Grenada. Tonight's minimum temperature 24.5 degrees Celsius. It will be partly cloudy and breezy with a few light isolated showers. Winds will be east-northeasterly to easterly at 12 to 22 miles per hour. Seas will be moderate to slightly rough with waves 6 to 8 feet in open waters. A small craft advisory is in effect. Tides will be low at 9:30 tonight and high at 3:30 in the morning. On Thursday, sunrise is at 23 minutes after 6 a.m. and sunset 18 minutes after 6 p.m. It will be partly cloudy and breezy with a few light isolated showers. Then on Friday, sunrise is at 6:22 a.m. and sunset 6:18 p.m. It will be partly cloudy and breezy with a few light isolated showers. Getting into the weekend, sunrise and sunset on Saturday will be 6:22 and 6:18 respectively. It will be partly cloudy and breezy with a few light isolated showers, increasing in cloudiness at night with some light to moderate showers. And that's the weather report and forecast valid for tonight and the next 3 days. Stay tuned. Zia Frederick is next with sports.
Good evening once again. I am Zia Frederick with tonight's sports report. Let's shoot off with netball. Grenada is ranked 19th in world netball. The ranking list relates to senior teams of member countries that are playing regular international test matches. For these teams, a rating is measured of their average performance over a series of matches. Each team earns a certain number of points from each international match, and then the points earned are divided by the number of matches played to provide a rating. The teams are then ranked in order of their rating, with a top-ranked country having the highest rating. Grenada is behind Caribbean teams Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, and Barbados. The West Indies women team touched down in Tauranga on Wednesday, New Zealand, ahead of their first game against the host on Thursday night local time. The Windies women's team will be looking to give a tough challenge to the hosts. Suffering 2 back-to-back defeats in the warm-up games against India and Australia, the Caribbean side will be shrugging off their defeats and will fight the match with a replenished vigor. Team captain Stephanie Taylor says having Grenadian Afi Fletcher back with a team from her 1-year maternity leave is an added value to the team.
It was really nice to have Afi back for the World Cup. We know how important she is to the group, and yeah, we love having her back. But you know, with that, we know that she's been out for a while, so it's nothing. We don't want to rush her too much. Give her that time to get back, get that feeling back, and hopefully she'll be. I know she will be important to this group.
The tournament will witness 8 teams battling against each other for the title. The tournament rules until April 3rd. The tournament was originally scheduled to take place February to March 2021, but was postponed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Athletes from Russia and Belarus will be allowed to compete as neutrals at the 2022 Winter Paralympics in Beijing following the invasion of Ukraine. The International Paralympic Committee says the 2 countries will compete under the Paralympic flag and not be included in the medal table. The opening ceremony is on Friday, with competition starting on Saturday. IPC President Andrew Parsons said the measures were the harshest possible punishment under its constitution. When asked by Ukrainian journalists about the decision to allow athletes to compete, Parsons says the athletes are not the ones doing the damage.
But the athletes here that were born in that nation, they are not the aggressors. And I think it's important to make that distinction.
Athletes from the aggressor
I agree with you, they are from the aggressor state. But the athletes here, they are not soldiers, they are not the aggressors. And I think we need to treat them with the same respect we treat athletes from any other nation who earn the qualification slot to be here.
That's it for Sports Tonight. Regional and international news are next.
start in the Bahamas, where new details are emerging following reports that some Bahamians are obtaining fraudulent vaccination cards in lieu of actually getting the jab against COVID-19. We get more in this report.
Word has gotten around about some printing companies and other entities producing fraudulent vaccination cards falsely representing the Bahamas. The Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Michael Darville, has come out about this issue.
Once we pick up things like that, we need to move swiftly to let the public know that it's a violation, it's against the law, and all of those print shops that are part of this procedure or doing it need to stop immediately.
Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Michael Darville, reveals new details about an ongoing investigation into the alleged production of fraudulent vaccination cards by some printing companies. The Vaccination Committee notified police that counterfeit vaccination cards missing certain information were appearing in their system.
I don't want to go into the details of the investigation, but we want all print companies who are producing cards, and if they are involved in this kind of activity, to stop immediately because it was referred to the Royal Bahamas Police Force.
Darville says he doesn't believe a large number of cards were produced, and some persons partaking in it may not realize it is against the law.
It was brought to my attention by the Vaccination Committee, and immediately we moved swiftly to report it to the appropriate authorities. I'd like to leave it like that because I don't want to speculate what's out there. It may be a very minor thing, as well as it may be more complicated than we anticipate.
Dr. Darville says the Vaccination Committee's database remains unaffected and his team remains vigilant.
It did not affect our database in no particular way, but you know, if you have a card and people do not check, you can go places presenting a card, and if you do not do the necessary barcodes and to verify what the card is, you may be able to slip through the crack in an event where you're supposed to be vaccinated.
Fighting in Ukraine entered its 7th day on Wednesday, with the Ukraine military reporting that Russian paratroopers have landed in the country's second largest city, Kharkiv, and attacked one of its military hospitals.
At night, in Ukraine's second city of Kharkiv, there is little rest. Reports this morning say that Russian paratroopers have landed in the city as part of an aerial assault. These strikes follow this missile blast outside a government building early yesterday morning. In Kharkiv now, the simple act of going outside has become a risk. Russia's offensive reaches deep into Ukraine. These are pictures of what's claimed to be a Russian airstrike on the Ukrainian city of Zhytomyr. That's 80 miles west of the capital, Kiev. Rescuers search for survivors. In Kiev, 5 people were killed when the main TV and radio tower was hit. Russia has warned that it's preparing to go after further targets. It may do so using forces in this 40-mile-long military convoy stationed 20 miles from the outskirts of Kiev. The build-up suggests that Russia may choose to intensify its assault in an effort to overthrow Ukraine's pro-Western government.
Work and sleep, that's it.
But Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky remains in power. He's even invited journalists in Kiev to meet him. Showing his face as often as possible has become a wartime strategy. Millions of Ukrainians now face the hardest of choices: stay or leave.
New Zealand police launched a renewed push to end an anti-vaccine mandate protest that has disrupted the capital for the past 3 weeks, dismantling an encampment outside Parliament and towing away vehicles. Let's get more details in this report.
New Zealand police clashed with anti-COVID vaccine protesters on Wednesday as authorities moved to tow away cars and take down tents set up outside Parliament. Some packed up and left. Others stayed to fight. Fires broke out, sending up pillars of smoke that police moved to put out. Police say officers unleashed pepper spray, while protesters wielded fire extinguishers and pitchforks as weapons. The demonstrations have disrupted the country's capital, Wellington, for the past 3 weeks, and on Wednesday morning, Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern said it was time to leave.
Those protesters illegally occupying Parliament grounds and surrounding streets have been given ample opportunity to leave. It is time for them to go. As the Police Commissioner said this morning, it's time to clear the roads and restore order for Wellingtonians. It will be obvious to those who work in and around Parliament that the protest has been at times violent and increasingly fuelled by misinformation and, sadly, conspiracy theories.
First inspired by a truckers' demonstration in Canada last month, groups started calling for an end to all pandemic restrictions. One protester who told Reuters she was unvaccinated said, quote, "We are fighting for our standard of life. We want our sovereign right to our bodies." Police said on Wednesday that 60 protesters have been arrested and at least 3 officers were injured. Some 95% of eligible people in New Zealand are vaccinated with 2 doses.
That's a look at regional and international developments. Blossom is up next with a recap of the headlines. And now let's look back at what made news tonight. Former workers at the Soubise Fishermen Cooperative Society call for thorough investigation as they are accused of robbing almost $40,000 from their employers. Vehicle owners put on warning as hundreds of derelict vehicles are to be removed and shipped out of the country. Grenadians celebrate Ash Wednesday. Regionally, Ministry of Health in the Bahamas cracks down on fraudulent vaccination cards. Internationally, Russian paratroopers and rockets attack Ukraine's second largest city, Kharkiv. And in sports, Grenada ranked 19th in world netball, while West Indies women's captain says Afi Fletcher's return is a boost to the World Cup team. And that brings us to the end of the GBN Nightly News for today, Wednesday, March 2nd, 2022. If you missed any part of this newscast, a repeat of it will be broadcast at 10 o'clock tonight. Continue to follow us online at www.gbn.gd or on GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel for these and other top stories. On behalf of the entire GBN News team, I am Blossom Lexus Welsh. Enjoy the rest of your wonderful Wednesday.